Hey everybody, welcome to a live edition of Flip Through Friday. I think the last time I did a Flip Through Friday was about 2 years ago. I don't remember who started the hashtag, so I apologize, but you can type it in on the YouTube search bar and you can find a bunch of lots of interesting Flip Through Fridays. Hey Fuzzy Falcon, hi Quiet Corner Carol, hi Laverne. Hey everybody. Oh, I thought I had that off. Oh my gosh. I thought I was all ready. Hey Jane, are you at work today? We're going to flip through this book in a minute. If you missed Carol's stream this morning, check out her replay. She did some really cool watercolor effects with the mini gel plates that the shapes that she won from my giveaway. So check that out. It's really, really cool. Maybe if a mod comes, I'll ask to put the link in. I forgot to let my mods know that I was coming in today. So we might not have a mod, but you know, I know everybody behaves themselves. So we're gonna do a flip through of this Steampunk Journal. I do this because it's not like a fancy Steampunk Journal. It's like a super messy journal that I made. I looked it up. I started this in 2021. On some gel prints that I had done on some paper bags and whatnot. And my last live stream, not this past Wednesday, but the one before, I went through a bunch of journals, and this one I deconstructed, so I cut pages out of it, if you missed that live. So these are all, this is a file folder. That was just an extra gel print. So these are all the pages that I cut out of this journal, because it was just too big. Actually, my husband did that print. Huh. That's funny. I'm going to keep that print, that's for sure. So these are all the gel prints that this is like on a paper bag. So I had done like 8x10, 5x7, using various stencils and stuff. And then where it wasn't filled up, I had used stamps. This is like a rolling stamping up stamp. Hey Vale, hi Beth. So I'm just showing all the papers that I cut out of this journal that we're gonna be flipping through. So these are all the papers that I took out of the journal. And most of them are jelly prints. So there's another one. And Dee Dee said you should keep those and use them for postcards. This is actually not, I didn't cut it out. This is an extra gel print, which I have an extra gel print pile that I was going to use in this journal, but now we've got it finished. So I'm going to show you guys how I finished it, and then we're going to put it away. So that's all the stuff that came out of this journal. At that same live stream, I had done a flip through of this journal. I explained I just had a couple pages left to finish it. So on Wednesday, when I wasn't streaming, I went on with Carol, My Quiet Corner, and I finished up the last couple pages in that. And then after the stream, I added this tassel. So you guys didn't see that on her channel, but if you, I think I'll try to link it after. I'm just looking for these charms. So I had these charms that I had bought on sale at probably Michael's. And so I did sort of like a Dee Dee tassel, and I just tied in these charms here. So if you want to see the flip through of that, check out Carol's live stream from Wednesday. That's My Quiet Corner, Carol. Hi, Apple. So I'm not flipping through that today. That one, you can see the flip through on Carol's channel. And then this is one that I also showed not last Wednesday, but the one before. And I still have just a couple pages to finish, so that's gonna happen very soon. I really concentrated on getting the steampunk one finished. So this was in the journal, and I cut it out and I stuck it on the front. And then after the live stream, I did a lot of additions and playing. So I'm gonna be going over all the extra details I added. I don't know if I'll have links for everything, but if you have a question, let me know and I'll see what I can do. So I think that's going to be pretty good to show. Once I open it, just checking on the screen there if I need to zoom in or not. So I'm just going to put that there and we'll see. And I just realized that I haven't had breakfast yet, and I look a little crooked, so I'm going to just kind of try to straighten that out a little bit. Okay, and then we'll zoom in a smidge. Okay. Hi, Lucy. Thanks for coming, guys. I know this isn't my usual stream time, and it won't become my usual stream time, but I just thought Flip Through Friday would be a good time to do a flip through of this, and then I don't have to spend a lot of time on it on Wednesday, so that we can actually, get to some fun projects. Okay, so let's go back to the cover. So the cover, I'm just going to put this here so I know where to line up. Okay, so the cover, I had cut this out. This was already done. And this, I think, was done in 2021. And I've linked all the videos that I have, process videos that I have for some of these pages in the description. Now, warning, these were very early videos of mine. I was just learning YouTube. I didn't actually watch them before I linked them because I thought I'll just find it too cringy and I won't link them. So I went ahead and I linked them. So, disclaimer there. So what I added to this cover after I added this piece here is I added, this was something someone had sent me. I don't remember who it was. I'm so sorry. But someone had sent me a bunch of ephemera, and I'm trying to think which one that was from. I think it was from something like this, that I cut it down. And then this was from this scrapbook paper, Penelope D. So I used a lot of scrapbook paper, like 12 by 12 paper that I had from my scrapbooking days. So this is from that same paper as this little button here. So you can use your scrapbooking paper. You don't need to throw it out. So I can tell it's from the same one because it has the same backing. So I'm going to be showing you as many of the little ephemeras as I can. So any of these would fit in this journal, but like I said, I wanted to just get her done, right? So I showed that. I'm going to put it over here. When I've shown it, we'll put it back there. Okay, so what else? This was on the page. This was embossed, so I just added it in a different spot. And then on the edges here, you can see these black things. Those, not this one, but these are actually rub-ons. So I was at Kathy Berg's stream last week or the week before, I can't remember, on Tuesday, and she started using her rub-ons. So I had been hoarding these Tim Holtz rub-ons. I don't even know if you could get them anymore, but I had 3 different sets. I had, does it say? It's like a 7 Gypsies. These 2 are the same, aren't they? No, it's different. Okay, one is the parchment rub-on. This one is, what's the pack? So it's not Ranger, it's 7 Gypsies. So it's not Tim Holtz, is it? Architectures. I feel like that's Tim Holtz though. Anyways, this one is called what's the type? What's the name of this one? I don't know. There's the ISBN, 744272560. So there's that one. And this one is more of a travel theme. And that one is 2017, 74427255139. Hey, Sherry. And then this one is, see, I got it on clearance for $3.97. That was back when I had a local scrapbook store. And this one is 74427256061. Those weren't all the same, were they? No, they're all different. So they're actually pretty big sheets. So you can unwrap them, right? So look at how big that is. And they have big rub-ons, like that's like the size of my hand. So that's the way it would show on the paper. If you turn it over, that's the side that's gonna go down. So when you rub it on, don't have the dark side up, have the dark side down. So I don't even know what size that is. So instead of hoarding this, I thought, okay, I'm going to use these. So I used a bunch to help finish up this book. And I had one set aside. I thought I could show you guys how they work. So I just like to cut them out and then decide where they're going to go. Now it's better if it's on lighter parts, like this kind of disappears, but I don't mind. So if I find a spot for this, we'll add it, but I'm just going to leave it aside here for now. Okay, I hope my sound's okay. All right, so I'm just going to try to show things as we go. So those are the rub-ons. And then this, I'll talk about that in a second. So that's the cover, and then I reattached it with the twine, and I added on some charms. So this little clippy thing, I don't know if you can see that, this little clippy thing, that's actually a Tim Holtz Ideology clip. So I clipped it onto the twine, and then here I used a jump ring to attach a charm. And hi, Utah. And all the charms I used were from, I think from Michael's, and I believe I got them on sale. I think there was another one, oh yeah, here's another one. This one I think I didn't use this one, but this would have worked. I got this at Hobby Lobby in February 2022 when I was traveling. So that's from Florida, so I haven't used that one yet. But these ones I know were from Michael's, and I got them. I know I got them on sale. So these are the ones I didn't use. And these are jump rings, which are quite easy to use. You just use your pliers. You can see videos. You use your pliers to to open it, and then you put your charm through, and then you use your pliers to close it so that it doesn't fall off. So that is that. So this is I'll show each charm when we get to that page. This one is like a watch motif. I hope I'm in frame here. I feel like I think I'm okay. So this was a coloring page that I had cut off of one of those other pages I had shown you, and I had glued it on here on my live stream. But what I didn't show was I added some gears. So see these gears here? Those are added, and this is from some gears I had bought off of Temu, which I don't buy off Temu now. So this is, I don't know, made in China. So I got a bunch of gears. They're very shiny. Some were a bit more dull. So if they're really shiny, I kind of distress them a bit using, and a lot of the distressing in here is with these two products. The Home Decor Folk Art Antique Wax in the brown color. I'm sure this is still available. This is from 2015, but I'm sure this is still available. And because it's sort of like a waxy finish, you put it on, you let it dry, and then it pretty much stays there. It's meant for like furniture refinishing. So because it's wax, see, I'm rubbing on here and it's not coming off. Okay. I didn't use this on the gears, but I did use it on stuff like this, for example. So this is a Folk Art Rust, light rust, painted rust effects. This, when I used it on the paper, I did seal it with matte medium after. Use on any rigid surface, water-based and non-toxic, indoor-outdoor covers, blah, blah, blah. Shake well before use. Directions, use alone or with dark rust. Dab on dark rust color, dab on light rust color at random areas. Dry for 4 hours, clean while wet with soap and water. So when you shake it, it's kind of like crunchy and sandy. So like, I don't know if you can see, there's little bits in there, and that gives it kind of like a rusty texture. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the sort of the bits of stuff in there? Oh, thanks, Vale. So even around the edges, you can see all that sort of that crustiness. So that gives you a cool effect, which I used on here, which I'll talk about in a second. Hi, Lisa. Okay, I'm gonna clean my finger. So rather than do a video, I thought I would just do this live, because the last time I did a video, like a post live stream video for update, it took me like, well, I filmed it all week, so I couldn't really do that one as a live, but editing takes a long time, and I didn't feel like editing this. So I thought I'll just come on live on Friday. We'll do a flip through Friday. So, okay, I'm gonna bring this up. So you can see here that little bit of crustiness, and then this is just spreading out that the rust one and the wax. And this was from some Happy Mail someone sent me. I don't remember who it was. It was several years ago. So they had sent me some tags, which I think I showed some of the tags. Where did they go? I don't know. I showed the tags, but there's more tags coming. Okay, so, and then I added more of these rub-ons here on the side, especially where, you know, it was paper bag showing. I thought that would really kind of finish it up. This was actually, maybe I should talk about some of the gel prints in the background. This was actually a little light bulb I made out of hot glue, and I used on the gel plate. These are fun foam that I die cut. Anyhow, and then there's some other ephemera that I added. Okay, this was a coloring book page. This was a coloring book page, and I had put a little charm, and it was bothering me that it was flipping around, so I actually glued it down with some Aleene's Tacky. So Aleene's Tacky glue, I feel like I'm kind of being scattered, but Aleene's Tacky glue really works well for gluing down like things like metal and fabric and lots of things. Okay, so when I was on live, not this last Friday, last Wednesday, but the one before, you guys had voted that we'll do the tip in this way, okay? So I don't think there's a video for this or this, but I know there's a video linked in the description for this double page spread. So I'm not going to talk about the elements, because if you want to know how this was done, I would remember that better. But see these red bits? I don't remember if that's this stuff or if it's embossing powder. So go check out that video. It's cringy though. Now I already had a tag in here, okay, but I added this tag using just some simple, again, the 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. I added some of those Temu gears just with Aleene's Tacky to glue them down. And this was a piece of ephemera. This was actually from I think it was from National Geographic magazine that I had scanned in my computer, and I resized it and I printed it out a few times. So I added it to this in here, and then I just sealed it in with some matte medium. So it actually looks like it belongs there. That's the thing with steampunk is there's lots of details, and I thought, oh, I'll just finish this up. Well, it took me like 3 days and many hours to add all these details, but I just really got into it again. But now I'm gonna, retire this journal. So this, I didn't add anything to it. That's flat, and that's what the paper looked like. And this paper, I believe, was from this Ciao Bella set, Voyages Extraordinaire by Ciao Bella. And I don't have an ISBN, but I know it's the same set because of the back of that paper. So some of the things that were included in that was some tags. So some of the tags I used, actually this tag over here, now that I see it again, this was actually from this set. Because you can tell by this border here, it's the same. And then it was just all a light color, so I colorized it. Okay. Back to these papers. So on Wednesday coming up, I am going to make little packages to give away. So recently yesterday I mailed out some stuff. Mailing to the States is very tricky. They want to call everything a package. So I'm going to make little packages to mail out. It's going to just be little fun bits and bobs. This is from a Stamp Area set. That's a different set. So something this big, I can't really send it to the US unless I fold it. So if you guys don't mind me folding things, I might fold that. Maybe I'd fold it this way, because I don't see myself using this. So I'm going to give away some of these things. So this I will put in a giveaway, but I can't make it too heavy or too thick because then they call it package. And once they call it a package, I have to itemize what's in there. I have to pay duty on it. And they use AI to say how much things are worth. It was crazy. I had sent, I did a trial and there's like an 8x8 piece of scrapbook paper. They said it was worth like $10. It was crazy, just crazy. But anyhow, so maybe I'll do a bigger package for Canada. So yeah, so this stuff, I'm not going to divide it out today, but some of it's going to get divided and given away. Okay. What else? Okay, so this here, so this page here, okay, I'm going to close this up for a second. So we had used this, this tape on Wednesday to attach this tip in, if you guys remember. Oh, where's the other? I lost my, oh no, the other tag's there. I used this to tip in and it looked very stark, but what I did after the stream was I just used a stylus, like a burnisher, like this, to indent it. And here I just kind of did lines. Here I indented it, and then here I glued back a piece that was cut off from another page. I'm hoping this is on camera. I think you guys had seen me glue this on and cut this down, but what you didn't see was me add this, and then I added these two things, the antique wax and the light rust. So that's why it looks rusty and textured. So I'm going to just bring that in here so you guys can see that. So this is actually a piece cut off from the edge of one of the pages because it was really wide and it looked awkward. So I added this on top, and it already had these circles on it from a previous make. So then I just kind of rustified this tape. So this is duct tape, not duct tape, but duct tape for taping. You find this in the hardware section of your, or the duct section of your hardware store. I can't remember. Okay, so getting back to that. So I liked how that looked. So what I decided to attach these two pages together, here and here. I took that duct tape and I ran it through my, I'm just going to move this out of the way. I ran it through my embossing machine with this folder from Sizzix. I don't have an ISBN, but the number is, it's called Foundry, and it's 662717, and it's a Sizzix Tim Holtz thing. So I ran it through, I just put the tape, I cut some tape off, and I put it in here, and I ran it through my embossing machine. So it gave it a texture, and then I cut them into squares and rounded the corners and used it to glue on to attach those pages. And then, if I can get that in focus, I just used the antique wax and the rust effects on here. I tried not to push too hard. I wanted, you know, the texture of the foundry to show through. So kind of as you put it on with your finger, it kind of like rubs off from the raised areas, if that makes sense. Okay. Now I'm thinking again, actually, I think whoever sent me these in Happy Mail, they must have got it from some of this paper, because this one here, sorry, I keep going back to it. How thick is it? No, it is thick. It is from this paper. Okay. Mystery solved. Okay. Hi, Belinda. So I'm just going through all the details of how I finished up this journal. I've talked about lots of different products already. If I see a spot to do this rub on, this Seven Gypsies rub on, I'll stop and I'll do that. Okay, so I think we pretty much discussed this part. And some of the edges I added ink or that antique waxing stuff. Okay, this was a wooden piece. So I'm going to try to talk about the pages behind. This was just a brayer off page. This is a coloring book page on cardstock. This was just a wooden key from the dollar store that I just covered in copper paint. And then when I was antiquing this, I snuck it behind here and I just added some of the brown antique wax on top of there. Okay, next page. So there is a video description, a video for this double page spread in my YouTube channel that I've linked below. Okay, next. Now this page here, I don't think there's a YouTube video for this, but these are both, this is a coloring book page, and I added this little windy gidget thing here. You'll see in a second. And then this is the other side of that tape, how we altered it. And the background is all jelly prints. This was an image transfer. I don't remember if this was done on stream or not. I can't remember. And then this was stamping up stamps that I had added at the time I made this page with, I must have used either metallic, it doesn't feel embossed, like I don't think it's embossing powder, I think it's like metallic ink. And I can show you that set, but I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's retired. Here, I'll show you that set because it is very steampunky, or if you make masculine cards, you might like it. So this is that set that has these stamps here. So it's stamping up. It's called Soar Confidently. Confidently, I can't talk. Hi, Jackie. Devin, what coloring book is that flying machine from? This one. Okay, let me go look. There's no ISBN, but that's where these stamps are from. This, I think, is from a coloring, Steampunk Coloring Heaven. Let me see. It's either from, I think it's from this book. I think it's from the Steampunk Special. This page was from a different, this was from Laura Colors, I think. I think I had written it somewhere, but then I cut it off. I don't remember who that is, but I'm pretty sure this was from this book. And I think I had scanned it and then printed it. Yeah, there it is. I copied onto toned gray paper or cardstock and then colored it and cut it out and pasted it. So it's this page here, right? And see this thing I added? I'll show that in a second. So it's from this Steampunk Special, Coloring Heaven, issue 74. And it has lots of steampunk. So like I said, I think I have enough steampunk coloring to do. This I put in a binder on coloring. Yeah, so I did a coloring page of that. This I used as a mask to ink around my page. I don't know where that is though. Well, it's in my binder, but I'm not going to show that. So this has lots of fun steampunky images if you want to color some steampunk stuff. It's not super great paper though. It's better than like Amazon paper, but not by much. Any other questions, just let me know. And if you uppercase it like Vale did there, then I'll have a better chance of seeing it. So this is the actual coloring page, I think. I think it's the tone. It's not a copy of it. Okay, now, I mean, it's a copy. It's not a copy of the page that I colored on the tone gray. I think the page I colored, I cut it and I put it in here on top of these gel prints, this gel print here. This is that floral stuff that I think I used a stencil. This is washi tape that I glued down. So this was from this set here that I actually won. I had gone to a scrapbooking retreat, I think. I feel like I won it there. Or I bought it from my friend who does garage sales with all her scrapbooking stuff. So this is the Adventure Emporium. There's 8 12 by 12 papers, and they're quite thick. And that's the ISBN. It's Ella and Viv. I'm sure this is vintage. 95707-40925. So I don't know if you can get that. Hi Eddie, we're just going through my Steampunk Journal. So these are pretty thick elements. I didn't feel like cutting down all these gears, so I did cut some down, but these are going to go in the giveaway for next week, for on Wednesday. So they look very realistic. This was from this page here that had all these elements. And then I'm going to keep some of these pages for my scrapbooking because I do plan to do some extra scrapbooking. I still have some scrapbooks in progress, but some of these I'll give away. Like I might give away a couple of these, a couple of those, and some of these. So not everything, but there will be some in the little packets. But I just want to show you guys, where everything came from on this page too. So some's going to go back in my scrapbook hoard. I'm going to refile it. Yeah, so Carol, my quiet corner, she used the little mini gel plates today with watercolor on glossy sticker paper, and it looked really cool. And then she added watercolor to it. So check out her live stream from today. Okay, so that's where this piece came from. So I cut it out. I didn't feel like fussy cutting the circle, so I used some circle punches here to cut the circle out, and then I just used ink on one of these foam blenders to just kind of get rid of the white. Sorry if I'm like rushing, I don't want to be on too long today. Yeah, this said where it was from. So that's an image transfer. Okay, this page there is just looking to see if I can do that rub on somewhere. No. This is from a video that I did, and it's linked below. And again, it's one of my early videos, so it's kind of cringy. But I did end up adding to it. I added this and this, these two elements. I made an extra tag. So this tag I had already made, and in my video I explained how I do that packing tape transfer from using image. You know what? I don't know if that was from a magazine image. This was. This, I have the original image here. So I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'd have to watch the video. But this, I don't know. I don't know how I did that. And then I finished the back of this tag. So I used some of those elements that I just showed you from that set. And then this was from one of the Voyage, this set here, the Ciao Bella. And then this was actually a magazine image from a local magazine, and I've been hoarding it for a while. I just think it's so cool with the bubbles. I don't know where it was from. I don't know what magazine it was from, but you can get lots of free images. Well, they're not free because you have to buy the magazine, but you can use magazines as long as you're not selling it, you can use magazines. Hi, Linda and Tim. And then did I show? Yeah, so then I did, this is the charm I added to this page here. So that's that Tim Holtz attacher thing that I showed earlier. And then this is one of the charms from Bead Landing. Hola, Stamp Girl. See that? So that's a little charm. And then I think I attached these two pages with some washi tape that I had shown at my live stream. So again, when you use washi tape to attach something, you definitely have to glue it. So I used Aleene's tacky glue and the glue stick and then glued that together. This is a die cut set that I have. So this is going to be a crazy all over the place stream. So some things I'm going to mention where they're from, and some I'm going to not really notice. But this was a pretty cool set that I have. It's not actually a Stamping Up or Tim Holtz set. It's a very intricate die though. And it has oh, I forgot it has a tag die there too. I'll have to use that more. So it's a Graphics 45. It's probably vintage as well. And I do not have an, oh wait. Here's the, no, I cut it off. So I don't have an ISBN, but it's called Regular Tag and Gears. And I did not pay that amount for it. I am positive. I got it for less than that. I would not pay that much for a die. So that's probably vintage now. So I'll have to remember that and use that more. Am I missing anybody? Hey, Scrapmanda. Hello to the UK. Hi, Mary Brown. And it's, I mean, this is a grungy steampunk journal. Like I said, it's mostly on paper bag and then gel prints. And I started this in 2021. So not this past Wednesday, but the one before my live stream, I decided I'm gonna clean out my hoard of journals and finish some. So there we go. Okay, and then this tag I added, it's from that same Voyages set. This one here, Amazing Voyage, I can't remember. You can have to scroll back, I guess. So I added those gears from Temu. I just glued them on, and these were pretty grungy, so I didn't have to add any grunge to them. So I just used the Aleene's Tacky Glue to glue them down. So you can see they're dimensional. And then I used the brown antique wax around the edge. And then on this side, there was like an opening here. So I used a little piece from one of the scrapbook papers. And then I used one of these tags from the same thing, and I grungified it with the antique wax. And I just used some gold tissue. I crumpled it up, and I tore it up, and then I just used some ink on top to colorize the edges there. And then I just glued it on. Easy peasy. So this tag wasn't in the original video. This I just did last weekend. And then this I finished last weekend as well. Oh, I forgot. I added all this last weekend too. So behind here, it was just plain gel prints. So I used a lot of stuff that was sent to me from, I don't know who. So they sent me a bunch of tags and these little envelopes, these little steampunky envelopes. So I cut them up and I grungified them, and sometimes I added a bit of this blue using the Distress ink patina color. And then I just glued it down, and this is from one of these tags. So I just cut it like, okay, it was maybe, I cut it down so it wouldn't be round, and then I grungified it with ink. This was from one of these circular tags that someone had sent me. And this is just on copy paper, and I'm sorry I don't remember who sent me these, but because the color didn't really match, what I did is I cut out the element, and then I just used that Distress ink, the patina color, to colorize it and then glue it down. Magic goggles, I thought that was a cool addition, and then I colorized, like I grungified it so it looked more like this, right? So you can alter your ephemera. So I added ink, so the patina ink, and then the brown wax, which I've been showing a few times, this home decor antique wax. Added that, and then I colorized the circles of the goggles with alcohol markers, I think, and then some white gel pen. What else? I don't think this, oh, and this here, this pocket, you would see in the video of this double page spread. This is actually an embossing folder. I believe it's a Tim Holtz one. I'll get it in a second. And then I had cut off a piece from that die cut of the one I just showed you, and I added it here, and then I added some of those gears from Temu, and I just glued them with the Aleene's Tacky again. Here's a close-up of that. And again, this is the tape distressed during the video, the original video from like 2021. So this pocket's original, except I added these gears here. This was already on here. And then I added all this ephemera this past weekend to give it a bit more oomph. I'm just wondering, maybe we could do that rub on here. This would go. Should we add it to here? Let's go for it. These are Jane Davenport stickers here. Is that too busy? Oh, I think it looks good there. It would look better at an angle though. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to show you how I do the rub-ons. So these are those 7 Gypsy rub-ons that I showed earlier. If you weren't here, it's from these old rub-on kits. Okay, let me get my, oh no. I did this on Wednesday at Carol's stream too. Where's my envelope? My bone folder. Shoot. So on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, I did a session with Carol, My Quiet Corner. I was one of her guests, and we worked on some stuff, and I finished a different journal, which I showed at the beginning. Okay, where is that? Okay, I can't find it. We'll just use something else. So I was using a bone folder that was very flat on one edge. So we'll just use this. So I don't know if you can still get these rub-ons. They're probably vintage now. You got to make sure you have the dark side down. This isn't working as well as my bone folder that I had. Let's use this other bone folder. Let's see. This one doesn't have as straight an edge, but so even though these have been in my stash for like, what, 6 years, they still work. Unlike some rub-ons I got from the dollar store. Almost done. Super quick. Well, maybe it doesn't feel quick, but, or you could stamp, whatever. So there we go. So it looks grungy, I like that. I'll show you guys. So we just added that, easy peasy. Okay, moving on. I've not been feeling well the last couple days. My throat's actually quite sore. Oh, I did add this on to this edge here. So this page I had glued on to something else on my Wednesday live. And then I added this tab here. So this was something that someone had sent me that looked something like this. No, that's not right. It was from one of the scrapbook packs. I can't remember. And then I just added it to the edge. Oh, it's from this one. So it's from this set here. So it was another tag that I added there. See, this is where I have to do this quickly, like after my stream, after I like worked on it, otherwise I'd forget everything. And then here's another one of the charms that I got from Bead Landing at Michael's. And this one's a corset. I just clipped it on the twine. And then if you remember this page, all it had was this red part, this coffee filter, and this this rub-on that I had done earlier. This coffee filter, this is with some embossing powder, and it made it go translucent. And then on this gel print. So what I did is I added a bunch of rub-ons. So there's a rub-on, a rub-on, a rub-on, a rub-on. This was there already. I added these rub-ons, this rub-on. So I tried to use the traveling ones sort of like around the world. And then I made a couple tags that, because this was just plain, so I added this on top. This was from some of these that someone sent me. So I had all these papers that someone sent me and the tags and stuff, okay? So I'll be giving some of that away. So I made, I put this little map here, I put this lady here, and it was just kind of all this one color, so I colorized it, I think, using the patina. And then I made these two little tags. So this would have looked something like, where is it? Like one of these tags. So I used brown ink to colorize it and just some pen work. And then I added one of those gears. Sorry if that's not on focus there. I added some of those gears. Focus, focus. And then I used the antique wax to grungify it. Added another one on the back. So that's all I did. I just kind of added, inked around the edges and added those little gears and then plopped it in here. And this is another rub-on. Okay. And then this one was from that same set, from this set, the Voyages, which I don't know. I showed the little tag at the beginning. And then I added this little spinner. It came with the brad. So at the back here, I added this piece of, it's actually cardstock, and then that washi tape. Okay, and then I had this little pin. And this stuff here I got from Johnny's Junk Journal shop. And I had bought this from her. So I think she still has sales. I haven't seen her recently, but see that little spinner's there. So I won't be giving these away because they're pretty hard to mail. They're very dimensional. I won't be mailing any dimensional stuff. So I thought that was kind of a cute way to alter that little tag. I noticed that Messy Dye, hi Marguerite, my Messy palette, she's showing her, she's doing a steampunk journal, and she does very fancy journals. Mine are not like professional, I don't sell them, they're just for fun. I'm creating some brilliant work. I used to write letters years ago, but once you get to know me, you would know they're not normal. Oh, that's funny. Hi Missy, hi Ambient, hi Marguerite, hi Missy. I just said hi a second ago. Okay, and then what else did I add? So those were additions. Oh, for example, this gel print here in the background, that was just done using this wood tool on the gel plate, right? And this is on a paper bag. So that's just a wood tool. This here, that was using cardstock that I had, put through my embossing folder, and then I used the cardstock on the jelly plate. I know some people use their embossing folders on the gel plate, but then you have to like clean it. So I just use it on embossed cardstock. I use that on the gel plate. Okay, this page here was pretty much as is, and I think there's a video for this double page spread except for all these additions I'm talking about. So I added a rub-on onto the door. So I added a big light bulb rub-on. This is a rusty bit I think I had made myself. I made some rusty bits from stuff around the house. Using, okay, that just brought back a memory. Using the Paper Artsy rusting stuff, which stinks horribly. It's very yucky. But it's called rusting powder. And if you want to rust your own metal, I don't remember the directions, but you could probably Google it on YouTube. So it's rusting powder, sprinkle on wet glue and spritz with water. I don't think I did that. And it's very heavy. Like this bottle is like so heavy. I think it's actual rust. Hi, Ivy Pearl. I'm just showing my mixed media steampunk journal that I started back in 2021. And I'm showing how I had deconstructed it, not this past Wednesday, but the one before. And then I'm showing how I reconstructed it. So that is rusting powder, which if you like steampunk, you might find that helpful. And like I said, it's a Paper Artsy product. ISBN is 060317204497. Okay, getting back to this page. And then I added a rub-on. I made this, I grandified this tag, and then it said anything one man can imagine, other men can make real. So I added WO and made it woman. And I believe those tags were from this same Nautilus set, which I showed earlier. Wait, where is it? Oh, yeah, this one. Ciao Bella Voyages Extraordinaire. This was from just some copy paper someone sent me. And then this door is a Catherine Anderson door that I talked about a couple Wednesdays, like when I did the live stream showing this journal. And then this is cut from one of these tags that someone sent me. I think it was cut from here. And then this was cut from here. So you don't have to use the whole piece of paper. You could cut elements that you like, right? You don't have to use it as is. You can cut things out and you can recolorize them, etc. Okay. But the rest of the page was here. I added this little clock though, and this I wrapped around. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm just kind of verbally spewing. This was a page. Oh, I'll show this in a second. This was from a 2-page spread that I had done a video for back in 2021, I think, or 2023. I'm not sure. Did I date this page? 2020. 2020. So some of these videos are from 2020. Anyways, so I'm not going to talk about, I didn't add anything to this page. This is how it was. But that's the duct tape altered here. I did add these little hinges that we talked about earlier today. Everything else I did on that video. This was a piece that was sent to me by Dee Dee Willingham, where she had stamped out these men and she had stamped tassels on them. And I said, oh, I really love that. So she sent it to me. So it inspired this double page spread. This stencil I have, I'll show you that if you're interested. Let's see if I can find it. I didn't pull it out because I kind of forgot about it. And my room's going to be a disaster. Let's see. Oh gosh, I can't find it. Oh, wait. Nope. I thought it was a pretty big, I have all my 12 by 12 stencils in one spot, and I thought it was there. I'll try to find it after the stream and then I'll link it below. Well, I don't know if I can link it because I don't know if it's still available. Oh, I found it. Okay, I won't link it below. I'll just show it here. Whew. So this is a stencil from Deco Art. So I got it at Michael's and I got it on clearance for $5 Canadian. So it's a 12 by 12 stencil, but I like the different elements it has on it. So that's how I made the paper on the back that we're going to look at in a second. These are from that stencil. So it's a pretty handy stencil. Is there an ISBN? Yes, there is. This is probably an antique as well. 66218-09552. So, okay. So that's that stencil. And then I think I added some of the antique wax to the edges. Bye, Jane. Okay, Ivy Pearl says that she's trying to start art journaling. Yeah, and there's no limit. You can do whatever you want. So on a couple Wednesdays ago, I did a live stream and I showed different themed journals I had going on and that I wanted to clear some out and make room in my closet. So this is one that's I'm gonna call it complete now. I showed at the beginning, these are all the pages that I cut out of this journal. So it was a pretty thick journal. I was very ambitious and very into the steampunk, and I might be again, but I'm gonna give away some of these papers and ephemera this coming Wednesday. Oh, my throat, sorry. Okay, the back page. So I talked about I wanted to put this on here. So I did put it on here. I added some rub-ons here and here. This was from, I don't know, some piece I had. This was from one of the sets of scrapbooking papers. I'm not sure which set it was from, if it was from this Ciao Bella set or if it was from this Stamperia set, which I don't have the name of that Stamperia set. Anyways, I just cut this out and it's already looking dimensional. This is not a real gear. This was from that Adventure Emporium set that I showed earlier. And then I added the gears from my Temu, just using Eileen's Tacky. This was a gel print that I had done on a video that I linked below. When I did this gel print, I think I stenciled him on after, but when I did this gel print, I used this wooden piece that I got at my local scrapbook store. And I remember I used that as on my gel plate. So I'm going to use that again on the gel plate. I kind of forgot about that. So I'm going to keep that out. I'll put it with my wood graining tool up on my desk here. Bye, Ellen. Thanks for coming. And then, yeah, so this is on that paper bag cover, right? And then this charm was already on here. That's a rub-on. So that is my steampunk journal for hashtag Flip Through Friday. Now I'm going to just look to my left and show you other stuff that I had put aside to show. See if I missed anything. So I showed all that. I showed all the papers that came out of this journal. I showed all the charms. These are some of the extra prints I had sitting in my tub of steampunkness. So I had a couple more of these guys. So I'm going to make some giveaway packets with some of the stuff. That's an old jelly print. This one my husband made, so I'm going to definitely keep that. Some of these are going to I'm going to keep some of these, but yeah. This was using a stencil from PM Artist Studio with alcohol inks on the gel plate, and then I just flopped it off onto a piece of copy paper, and the alcohol ink made some cool designs. This was with the PM Artist Studio stencil. I think it's the same stream that I did this paper, but don't quote me on that. Okay, and then this is the grungy paper stream. I think it's the same stream that I did this. I think it's linked below. Hi, Jess Cherry. You went to a book sale at your library and bought 4 board books for $1. Awesome. I have a couple board books that I've been meaning to make a journal out of, and I still haven't. That's a gel print on tissue. These were grungy prints using the same technique as, I think it's in the same video as this, using sprays, alcohol inks, and acrylic paint on the gel plate. That's just some mulberry paper. That's a gel print with gold, using gold leaf. That's one of those floral thingies. Can you see the texture? I think I just stenciled on top of that. This is some Timmy tissue that I sprayed. That's a gel print. Don't remember how I did that. That's a gel print using a placemat, one of those placemats from the dollar store that has a bunch of, like, it looks like a bird's nest almost. That's from that. This I made, I remember using a glue gun stencil, glue gun shape I made like to look like a cobweb. So I'm gonna actually put that in my Halloween journal. like my tub of Halloween stuff. This is a gel print. I think it's from a Stencil Girl stencil. I don't remember. And that's just some randomness. So some of these are going to get put back in my hoard of papers. This is on rice paper. This is that paper you can get at the hardware store. It's called masking paper. So it's what they use when they're painting. Hey, Linda. Good to see you. Hi, Carol's Crafty Canvas. So we're just discussing, you know, leftover bits from the Steampunk Journal that I just did a very, very detailed flip through of. Okay, what else did I not talk about? We talked about the rub-ons. We talked about using your old scrapbook paper. This is something I don't think I used in here, but this is from Studio Light. You can find rusty bits. These are punch outs. I don't think I used any of these in here. So I'll keep this in my stash. Maybe I'll punch out a few things to add to my packets for giveaway. And the ISBN of this is 713-943-117-668, and it's Studio Light. Die cut sheets to make 12 complete cards. Marguerite got masking paper from Princess Audio. That's very smart. Okay, and then Dee's shown these little envelopes. They're great for organizing your different ephemera. So any leftover bits that I have that I'm not going to give away, I'll just throw in here as well for future use. Because I'm sure I'll do more steampunk stuff, just not a whole dedicated journal. Okay, I feel like I went over everything. I didn't mention that I didn't use any in this journal, but you can use your painty baby wipes when you're, you know, cleaning up stuff. You can use your painty baby wipes as fabric. And I went on Messy Dye's channel and I showed how I adhere these to cardstock, run it through embossing folder. So you could even make this and emboss it with that and then use inks on it. All right. Vale saying there's a question above. Could you please tell me the publisher of Steampunk Special? That coloring book, that is, oh, I have another paper pad to show. That is Coloring Heaven. And you can buy these online, and they're pretty, they're from the UK, but they're pretty reasonable in terms of shipping. So coloring with a U, heaven.com. So that's how we know it's from the UK. So it's got lots of fun images. That would be good if you had like Wizard of Oz prop somewhere. Bye, Ivy Pearl. I'm sure you're long gone. And then another thing I had stashed in some of this was some of these papers here. And these were from a very inexpensive set of papers by Recollections, which is a Michaels brand. And look how thick that is. It was a really thick paper, and it's one-sided. I don't know if it's available either. 86946973363. Hi, Deb Smith. So it has lots of sort of like just more subtle papers. So I'll keep this, I'll probably keep all these papers for scrapbooking, or you can gel print on them. I've done that in my Halloween journals quite a bit. So, you know, there's steampunk elements. So I could fussy cut this page and throw some of them into this folder so that it's ready to go, right? You can have different themed folders instead of, I had different themed 12 by 12 scrapbook cases. So I'll show you what I got rid of. So by finishing this journal, I freed up this whole one of these 12 by 12 cases. So this doesn't have to sit full of steampunk stuff in my closet anymore. I think I'll keep this to do an image transfer at some point. So I'll put that, and maybe this, we'll try to image transfer it together. Not today, but someday, some point. I'll put that in my pile of ideas. So yeah, embossing folders, stamps. You can use, you know, stamps you have on hand. You don't have to buy anything new. I've got like Stampin' Up stamps. So my friend Linda Gibbs here, she is my Stamping Up representative. If you're Canadian and looking for a Stamping Up representative, you can check her out. You can use foam stamps. This is a stamp from PM Artist Studio. I think Fran Baker designed this. So I made this, the backgrounds of this way before, so back in 2020, 2021. So there's lots of old videos linked below if you want to see my cringy start to YouTube. Use my scan and cut to cut the paper. Yeah, but if it's colored paper, like that one I just showed, do you think it'll recognize where to cut? I don't think it'll recognize where to cut. I tried that with one of my washi papers. So this one, I don't think it would recognize where to cut because it's so busy. Unless I took like a micron pen and maybe like I outlined it in dark, maybe then it would know where to cut. You could definitely try that. I'm not a scan and cut. My brother's scan and cut is still fairly new to me, so. Let's see. We've been on for about an hour. I was jumping on while my husband was, he usually has Fridays off, so he was at a haircut. So I thought, well, this is a perfect time to go live. So I think that's, so I'm going to make some little giveaway packets. I'll make some for everywhere, and then I'll maybe make a couple bigger ones for my Canadian friends, and we'll do a giveaway next Wednesday. Yes, set it as black and white. It uses contrast. Well, maybe next time you come over, Linda, you can help me do that, and we can film a little video together. I feel bad that people have to be at my live streams to win something. So maybe what we'll do is, if you're watching the replay or if you're in chat here and you want to enter the giveaway, but you can't be at the live on this coming Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, maybe in the comments below, not in chat, maybe we'll get you to enter the word. If you want to be entered to win just a little giveaway and you can't be at the live stream, let me just think of a word. You can put it in the comments below, and then I'll do a drawing for a random comment picker. But the key word will be, oh gosh, I need something that will write dark. Let's do, I don't want to do steampunk because people not necessarily want to enter the contest. You have to be able to, you know, give me your address and stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better, yeah. Okay, what's a word we can use that people aren't going to use just to comment? Okay, let's use the word exploration. If you want to be entered in a giveaway that I will do on Wednesday, so on Wednesday I'm going to do a giveaway to people in chat, which is usually I do my giveaways. But let's do this. If you enter the word exploration in the comments below, that will enter you in a giveaway for a little package of goodies that I will mail to you, but you have to be willing to send me your address. I will announce it on my giveaway on Wednesday. I won't email you or message you. You'll have to message me, and I'll give the email during my live stream on Is it 3? No, I changed my time veil. On Wednesdays, it's now at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, every other week. So I'm on this coming week. Bye, Utah. So yeah, so enter the word exploration if you want to be entered, especially if you can't make it to the live stream. Because I feel bad because it's, you know, people who watch my replays, they never really win any giveaways. So yes, but not here, Jess. It's going to be not in the chat. You have to enter it in the comments after I stop this live stream. The comments will become active and you enter it in the comments, and then I'll pick a winner from that. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear. I wasn't planning to do that, but I just kind of thought maybe it'd be nice. So I'll spend the rest of my weekend making up some little packets. I don't know how many I'm going to do. It is getting a little bit prohibitive to send mail, especially to the US. So lately I've been doing a giveaway the first Wednesday of every month, but I might change that. I'll talk about it next week. I'll have to think about it, whether I'm going to continue to do, you know, regular giveaways or just do the occasional one. Okay, so I think that's all my throat can handle for today. Thanks for coming. If you're watching the replay and you got this far and you want to be entered for a giveaway that I will do on next Wednesday, you don't have to be in the live chat for that giveaway. Type the word exploration into the comments below. And yeah. And then I will, hopefully it'll be someone I can get in touch with. If not, I'll put my email in the description of the next video till that person contacts me with their screen name and their real name and address. Okay, well, thanks for coming, guys. And it has been a blast. I hope I didn't drive you crazy with all my random scattered thoughts. So yeah. It was nice doing an extra stream. And everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay creative. Bye-bye. And of course, I always say bye-bye, and then I have to take this off my little stand. All right. Bye, guys.